Welcome to Motoring Northwest. Hello, and welcome on board the latest Suzuki Vitara. The first Vitara hit the roads back in 1988, and it was the first SUV of its type. Affordable, very capable, and reasonably stylish. To a degree, it virtually created its own market segment. Nobody else really had anything similar. To a degree, the only competition was another one of the Suzukis, namely the Jimny, or the JXL or JLX, dependent on whereabouts in the world you bought them. However, things have changed and the competition has increased, but Suzuki have still always retained that all-important factor that they've always had, which is their reputation for reliability, build quality, and producing a vehicle that will do exactly what it says on the tin. Basically, no matter who you go and look at, no matter which manufacturer you go and look at, the most honest of the lot are Suzuki. They don't make any claims that their vehicles cannot live up to. Move on 27 years, and here we are, as I've said, on board the new Vitara. The overt for-beforeness of the Vitara still exists to a degree, but not as much as it did. They have gone, if their marketing blurb is to be believed, urban lifestyle and urban adventure. So, if you manage to look beyond the marketing blurb, what exactly are you getting with the new Vitara? Well, I'll be quite honest, what you're getting is more estate car orientated. It sits lower, it doesn't look as 4x4, although it is very capable off-road, as we will see. It's more stylish, it is more chic, it is in keeping with the current crop of new cars and the style that the manufacturers are all looking for, because it is what the new customer is buying. A more bold front, more bold, strident profile, and a rear end that is basically not as aggressive as the one that went before. You've no spare wheel, so it doesn't have to be big enough to hook a spare wheel on. In fact, there is no spare wheel. What you get is the usual irritating can of foam and pump. But rumour has it these days, if you have a blowout, that's all you actually need, even though I can prove them wrong. Inside, it's more roomy, it's more spacious, it's more relaxed. Now, as you expect with the Suzuki, you still get your hard surfaces, good and durable, easy to keep clean. Elsewhere, we've got leather and Alcantara, we've got colour keyed dials, colour keyed to the bodywork, a whole new instrumentation pod. Very nice, very clear, tells you everything you want to know. You have a nice big infotainment centre, and all importantly, you can now hook your smartphone up to it at an absolute thrice. Because apparently these days, if some of the new buyers can't hook their phone up, the entirety of the car is dismissed. So don't forget the fact that you can hook your phone up, which makes the engine and the running gear and the car's general abilities positively immaterial by comparison. Right, under the bonnet you have got two options, both 1.6, one petrol, one diesel. You've also got two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, but as to why you would want a two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive look-alike, I really don't know, but apparently those seeking out this elusive urban adventure is what they desperately need. This is the 1.6 diesel that develops 120 brake horsepower from its 4-cylinder 16-valve unit, and also kicks out 320 Newton meters of torque. This one's mated to a 6-speed manual, although an automatic is available, and on average will return high 40s or 50 to the gallon on average. Up to press we've done just over 200 miles, and that's the figure that's coming back, and looking at the tank etc, I have no reason to doubt it. 1.6, good willing little engine. It's a little bit noisy if you start pushing it, but there again smaller engines all tend to be. What you have to do is keep it spinning, keep the revs up. If you let your revs die, you will have to get down the gears. But drive it, use the gears, keep it spinning, and you have a willing car. Powers the car along nicely, nice and neat. It handles well, reasonably neutral on the tarmac, turns in very, very well, nice and light to drive, well weighted power steering. Everything about this new Vitara is usable. As I've said, Suzuki don't make any claims to the contrary. This car does exactly what Suzuki claim it will, and it does it extremely well and extremely efficiency. It's a nice little vehicle to be behind the wheel of. Being the all-wheel drive, or ALLGRIP as the Suzuki all-wheel drives are now called, what you have just to the rear of the gear lever is a very, very simple dial control. In the middle is auto. Flick auto on and the intelligent all-wheel drive system works. You don't need to do anything, just drive the car. Turn it to the right, you go into sport mode. That tweaks everything. It becomes a little bit sharper to handle, sharper braking, slightly punchier engine. Means you can press on down country roads nice and handy, nice and quick, and everything's as it should be. Flick it the other way and you get snow and mud. That means you've told it is going off-road and it will probably be on loose surfaces. In addition to that, there's the lock button which will lock it permanently into 4-wheel drive, and away it goes and you go. Off-road, though it doesn't have the ride height that the previous one had, this vehicle really does surprise when it's off-road. It is as capable off-road as it is on-road. Over the duration of the test, we tried a few various things, and at no point in time did it complain, did it get upset, or did it fail to get to where we wanted it to go. Even on the road tyres, as fit, the vehicle proved itself to be remarkably capable. But this is a Suzuki Vitara. You really wouldn't expect anything less. It's willing and able, already willing and able to get it all completely right. The dynamics are good, the handling is good, the feedback is good. This is a vehicle anybody who is looking for a very, very capable estate car will find incredibly useful. It'll seat 5, you've got a decent sized boot, in fact you've got a twin boot because you've got twin floors. So what more do you want? It'll hold whatever you want it to hold, it'll carry whatever you want it to carry, it'll tow a decent load. But if there is now a downside, this one, as tested, is £23,349, which means there could well be others that you would go and have a look at. But none of them have the bulletproof reliability of Suzuki. I'm not saying this because I'm being paid by Suzuki to say nice things. I'm not. I've owned Suzukis and I've never had a moment's problem with them. They do exactly what they will claim they do. If you want something that's more 4x4 that really will go anywhere, then Suzuki still have the Jimny. And when I say that will go anywhere, it really will go anywhere. That is one of the most capable, proper 4x4 off-roaders you will ever climb behind the wheel of. But with the Vitara, they've now come up with a vehicle that will do long distances with ease. It's relaxed, it's economical, it's nicely built, it's been well thought out, it's been well executed. Really, compared to its competition, it may not be quite as luxurious in places, it may not have the thick metal clunk when you close the doors. What it does have is that all important stylised S on the front and on the steering wheel. Suzuki don't make bad cars, they never have made back cars. And with the new Vitara, they still haven't made a back car. They've got this right. Sales are exceedingly strong. Even before it hit the showroom, sales were strong. Dealers had sold loads of them. And when you get behind the wheel of a Vitara, you can understand why. Existing customers and previous Vitara owners will go and they will trade up to one of these. Equally, people looking for a sensible car of this type, in many respects, it's hard work to think of a car that comes anywhere close. So from Mark Stone at Motoring Northwest, behind the wheel of Suzuki's new Vitara, happy motoring, both on road and off.